Hey, and welcome to Inspector Josh Investigates TV. I'm Josh Paulson, an indie who loves to reverse engineer TV shows to draw story writing lessons from them. I'm also a consultant and teacher on story development. Today we'll be looking at Survivor, Season 27, Episode 4, One-Armed Dude and Three Moms. Warning, spoilers for this episode and previous may be ahead. Now, of course, reality TV shows don't necessarily always represent reality, and there's different levels of that. I don't necessarily know what level to believe, but they can still have valuable writing lessons because they show us people in a different type of setting. And in a lot of cases, they still cover stories in a different format than we're generally used to. So here's an interesting piece from this episode. Now, this season is about people competing with their loved ones. So there's a lot of additional conflict here and different pieces at play. But you see something very interesting in the voting at the end of the day on this one. There's a person named Brad who, to a lot of people, is the leader in the group. And he ends up being voted out. Now, people weren't necessarily going into that night planning that way, but that's what happened. And this represents a very important point. A lot of times as writers we talk about, hey, know your character's motive. What do they want? What do they want? Have them go for what they want. But people don't normally go for what they want. They go for what they think they can get. For example, a lot of people would love to be millionaires, but you don't see them going for that. They get what they think they can get. They get the jobs they think they can get. Maybe they will try some lottery tickets, but they generally don't go for what they actually want. They go for what they think they can get. They go to what they think is possible for them. And what's interesting with this conversation at the end of this episode is that you see that one of the people gets up and he's like, hey, you know what? I'm voting against our leader. Which is very interesting because suddenly it opens the door for other people who didn't think that was possible or that that would ever happen. Suddenly they realize, wait, we could oust this guy. Suddenly it's not just about what they wanted. Perhaps they had wanted that already. Perhaps their wants shifted. And also there is the great big goal of winning Survivor. But suddenly they see an opportunity. And it's not just about what they necessarily wanted, but now they realize they can get something that they may have already wanted. So when you're writing your characters, when you're developing your stories, remember to keep in mind what your characters want, but also your characters will go for what they think they can get. This is how people generally work, and this is how people generally will work in your stories. Now, some people will go against all hope, and we generally respect those people very much, but there are many, many people who will just go for what they think they can get. Consider this motivation in your stories and your writing. And with that, case closed. Thank you for listening. We'll be back with another investigation next week. You can check me out on Twitter at Josh Paulson or find me on my website, joshpaulson.com. Have an amazing week and let me know what awesome stuff you're doing because I want to know what awesome stuff you're doing. Have a great week and take care.